Hi everyone, it's Gary Nicholson here for the Mountain Weather Information Service. This is your planning outlook video updated on Tuesday the 8th of May. Now, it's all a bit of a mixture in the next week or so. We've got some fronts coming in from the Atlantic, periods of rain mostly in the west. We've got some strong winds at times as well. And I think the idea of some showers being in place through this weekend. The longer range trends though, it seems to favour a build of pressure and drier conditions through into the second part of May. Let's have a look through temperatures over the next few days first of all. This is the 850 millibar level as we often show you in these videos. The number on the white background towards the lower part of the screen is the height in decameters. Add a zero, you've got it in metres, and you can see from that we're more or less the highest tops in Scotland. Only just above freezing then through Wednesday. You might start sub-zero above say 1200 metres, but freezing levels will lift above the summits. Different story for Thursday though. By the time we get there, cooler air will have swept in, and I think the higher tops will be just below freezing. You might find the freezing level down to 900 to 1000 metres, particularly in the West Highlands. So a chilly day in place, and temperatures only in the lower single figures across the high tops in England and Wales. Running through into Friday, and temperatures lift a little bit. It's still close to freezing on higher tops. As we go through just into the weekend, there's not a great deal of change in the general air mass. I suspect it's just above freezing by a degree or so, but it keeps cool air in place, and what that will do really across the higher Scottish Munros is keep the snow patches around, although they will tend to retreat a little bit as time goes on, but still they'll be blocking some of the access routes to the higher Munros, particularly north-facing corries. These are your synoptic charts then for the next few days, and for Wednesday we've got fronts coming in from the Atlantic. Deteriorating conditions broadly with wind speeds widely gale force across the West Highlands and strengthening elsewhere through the day, and we've got lowering cloud and rain soon coming in. Edging in a bit slower into Wales and the Pennines. Further east you go, greater chance of being dry all the way through the day, but just watch for things going downhill. Check your local details of course in all our written content here on the Mountain Weather website. Now into Thursday, those fronts will have passed eastwards overnight, a fall of rain coming through, but more or less out of the way. It'll leave a scattering of showers in a fairly cool air mass that's in place, but a ridge of high pressure is building in, so those showers shouldn't be too potent, but might just be locally frequent for a few hours. Some snow and some hail above around 700 metres in Scotland, and maybe just on the higher tops in England and Wales as well. Slight changes again into Friday, the wind flow coming round from the south, again strengthening and widely reaching gale force. Bit of uncertainty how quickly this cold front comes in from the Atlantic. It might be fairly slow, the wind just turning south-southeasterly, which will tend to hold it back for longer across Ireland. But again, western regions, just watch for things going downhill. I think the north and east of Scotland, perhaps much of Wales and the Pennines, may well escape largely dry, but that wind will strengthen through the day. Now, detail rather uncertain into Saturday. Difficulties really how quickly this front moves eastwards. It may well get stuck across the northeastern side of Scotland, so it could give a rather wet day for the East Highlands and into the far north as well. The risk of winds still being gale force as southeasterlies across the far north and east, but lighter elsewhere, and where that front clears it could give a decent day with cloud lifting towards higher tops, and may well be that the southwestern parts of the Highlands, the Pennines and the Lakes, and maybe much of Wales sees a good deal of dry and bright weather, but low pressure towards the west of Ireland will drive areas of showers in from the southwest. They may break out across Wales and perhaps into Pennine areas through the day, so just watch the details. I think I'd keep an eye on the forecast at this stage. Now, I won't show you the synoptic chart for Sunday because I think confidence is sufficiently low that it could just end up being misleading. What we do know is, I think, that low pressure is still somewhere around and to the west of Britain, with a general story of sunshine and showers. There may be something which is still organised together in the remnants of an old front. I think that mixed picture will be around into Sunday. If we just run on the story then into the start of next week, what looks likely is that trough of low pressure will pull away and high pressure from the Azores will start to try and nudge towards us. It might take a day or so just to get fully in, so it could be a little bit mixed still with some areas of low cloud and a few showers, bits and pieces of rain around locally, but I think the theme is becoming drier as the week is going on. Difficulty really is whether that high from the Azores is the one that fully wins out, or whether, as some models show, high pressure builds a little bit more around Scandinavia, and that would then dictate what the wind direction is. With this sort of chart, the wind flow is still coming around the high as something of a west, perhaps southwesterly, which might bring some low cloud and patchy rain at times, particularly into western Scotland, but keeping many places elsewhere largely dry. The alternative view is that high pressure, as I said, is stronger around Scandinavia, and with that we'd look at more of a sort of a southeasterly flow, maybe even an easterly in some places. Basically this model makes more of a trough of low pressure, which will be over the south and southwest of Europe, which would stop the high from the Azores having as much influence on us. So a bit to play for during this middle part of May. What looks likely to be the theme is that high pressure is nearby, perhaps at times trying to build over the top of us, so it should become drier and temperatures generally a little bit warmer. It wouldn't be surprising to see temperatures rise extensively at some point heading through the second part of the month again. So we'll see how things go, and we'll update you in these planning videos. Next one will be online on Friday, so keep an eye out for that one. Thanks for watching today. Bye for now.